Welcome to my coding channel Coding Learner. So this is C++ tutorial lecture number 13. So in this lecture we learn about what is the inheritance. So inheritance is another characteristic from our object oriented programming. It is a most important features of object oriented programming. So what is the inheritance here? So we are capable the capability of a class to derive property and characteristic from the another class. So what is happening here? We have two class. So like for example we have class A and class B. We are inherit the properties of class A to the class B. So whenever we are need to call the function which is belong to the class A, we easily call using the object of class B. So that was happening here. So we have a, a drive class and child class. So the class having a properties which is drive to the another class. That class is called drive class, and the class take the advantages or a function of the derived class is known as a child class. It is also called as a base class, and derived class is also known as sorry the both derived class is known as base class or a parent class. So that's it about inheritance. Now I already explained it. So we have superclass, the class whose properties are inherited by a subclass. It is called a base class. Like we have a class A. So these class A is a super class because all the function which B are mentioned here are inheritance to the class B. So the class which take the advantage of inheritance is known as a subclass. Take the property which takes the properties of superclass. So that's it. Now we have to move forward. So question is we have three question. Why we are use inheritance, and then we have use modes of inheritance, and then last we have types of inheritance. The first question is why we use inheritance. So first point is we use the code. We reuse the code which is already written the above class. So for example we have a class name as vehicle. So obviously we have multiple types of vehicle. We have bus, we have car, and we have bike. They carries the three classes carries the similarities, the same properties as they are vehicles. So when we are talk about vehicle, the first question is arises how much capacity of a vehicle. Like we take a bus. If we take a bus, there is a law required large amount of fuel, and we are talk about the car. It takes the fuel amount less than the bus. And then we are talk about the bike. It takes less fuel as compared to the bus and car. So they the three of them carries the same properties like fuel amount. So we are having a class vehicles in which we have carries all the common properties of these bus, car, and bike in the class very class vehicles. So that's why we use inheritance to reuse the code in the multiple classes. When we want to display something, we are call the function display in the class A, so that all the another classes like class B, class C, class D, and so on use the function of class A, which is already written above. Now we have to move forward. Okay, so there are three modes of to drive a class. So first is private, second is public, and last is protected. So as the name suggested, all the data variable and data member function are private here. If we are using private specifier, all the data or data member are private for the derived class, for the child class, and all the and we are talking about the public. So all the data member function are public to the child class. And last we are the data member function are protected to the child class, which those are derived from the superclass. Now we have moved forward. This is about what is the public mode, what is the protected mode and private mode. So to take it more easy way, we I summarize it in like that way. So when we are derived our subclass using private specifier, so all the data present in the in our superclass, private, public and protected, all are come to the private of our child class. And if we are using public specifier, so what is happening here, all all the private data of parent class are stored in the private of child class, and all the data or data member are stored in the public if it is derived in public in parent class, and similarly for the protected. So when we are use protected specifier to derive our child class, so all the all the specifiers in superclass are came to the protected in our subclass. So this is how we are inheritance the property of class of upper class to the lower class. Now we have to move forward. So what are the type of inheritance? So the first type is single, which is similar to our already we are already learned the previous slide, that the there is one parent class and there is only one child class. So when we are the second type of inheritance is hierarchical. So what is happening here, we have just one parent class and we have two child class. We are code it in the next video so that you can identify what is happening here, how we derived one class into a different number of child class. Now here is another multi-level inheritance. Here there is class A whose properties is inherent to the class B, and all the properties of class B is inherent to the class C. So automatically the class A's properties come to the class C. So by using the creating the object in class C, we use the properties of class B as well as we use the property of class A. Now we have another inheritance type, which is multiple type. Here we have a two parent class and there is just one child class. So both classes property is inherent to our child class. This is called a multiple inheritance. When we are more than one parent class and just one child class. Now we have moved forward. It is little bit complicated. It is a combination of a two inheritance. Here when we are see this, it is a single inheritance, and we are this, it is hierarchical inheritance. When we are talked about the combination of the two inheritance, these type of combination are called hybrid inheritance. So that's it from now. We are do some practical questions on inheritance. Thank you for watching. Keep liking.